Hello and welcome back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. I'm your host, Scott Minton. Today we are continuing our series of Everyday Shelfers. We are sitting down with Mr. Micah Arnold. How you doing today, Micah?
I'm doing wonderful.
Finest frog hair split 4 ways?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. And then Stephen J., he's joining us again. Stephen, you're just turning into a regular occurrence around here.
Well, I have nothing else to do.
Being retired is good, right?
Mostly.
Mostly. I know you said you were like getting bored the other day when I was talking to you about some stuff.
I definitely am, but I'm working on changing that. So.
Good deal, good deal. So, hey, what we are going to talk about today, we're going to sit down and we are drinking the Michter's Small Batch American Whiskey. So this is an unblended American whiskey, and then we are drinking the Small Batch Benchmark. So those are the two we're going to try today as we continue the Everyday Shelfer series. So we're going to dive into these things. And Micah, what's it say about the old Michter's over there?
Well, we're drinking the Michter Small Batch Unblended. It's 83.4 proofer.
83.4?
That's a low proofer.
That's right, man.
Like drinking water.
That's baby.
Based out of Louisville, Kentucky. I'm a big Michter's guy, so I've actually never tried this one. I think I've had every other Michter's, but pretty excited to try this one.
Have you had the big boys, like the Michter's 20 or 25?
I have not had the 25. I've had the 20. Delicious. I'm a big fan of their toasted blend. So,
yep. Toasted bourbon is one of my favorite ones ever.
Absolutely.
I love that pour.
It is good.
So I can't wait to dive in on this one. I've been cheating a little bit. I've been sniffing it and seeing what I got off of it, but it's got some vanilla and some caramel. It's also got some really nice, what I would call like earth tones, like maybe a little bit of tobacco. I don't know. What are you getting, Steven?
Definitely is more earthy than floral or fruity. It's a nice nose.
I definitely catch the vanilla.
Yeah, the vanilla. Yeah, get that. Yeah. And I'm getting a dark fruit, but I can't decipher if it's like cherry or if it's like maybe a little bit of like plum, something like that. It's it's very faint. It's not huge. So
something darker than cherry, I think.
All right. Well, while you guys try it, I'm gonna look at here and see what's up. Michter's was originally an older brand that kind of started out and then they kind of shut down and they revisited when they opened up back down at Fort Nelson. Is that right? And then they moved their second distillery in Shively.
I think their main distillery is in Shively.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm just saying the second location.
Right.
I know that's where the main one is, but it's in Shively. But the first one, Fort Nelson, I think they reopened that. And do you remember when, Stephen? Maybe you, Micah?
2018 or 2019.
I think it was like 2017, 2016.
Okay, correct me.
I'm not correcting. I'm asking you, but I think we might be different. I'm going to Google it, or if one of y'all want to Google it, you want to Google it, there, Micah?
Where's our Google master?
I know we don't have Josh or Matt here, so we've got
Nick Hayden either.
I know we need the Google masters here. So when did the Michter's Fort Nelson distillery open?
On it.
He's on it. All right, good deal. So Stephen, what do you get on the taste? Did you taste her yet?
I did.
You did?
It's a nice, smooth taste.
It ought to be at 83 proof.
That's right.
This is like Steven Scott, the legend, like full-on chug bourbon right here. I mean, you might drink like half that in one chug.
God bless Google. I already have the answer.
All right.
It wouldn't be hard.
What's the answer?
What's the guesses?
I'm guessing like 2016, 2017.
February 2nd, 2019.
Good Lord. So you're closer than I am. I would have never guessed 19 was when it first opened at Fort Nelson.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Evidently.
The internet does not lie.
Well, depends on which website you're looking at, right? I'm pretty sure there's lots of lies on Facebook and a bunch of other shit out there, but
Trump Twitter. Oh, did I say that?
So yeah, the flavor on this, I mean, it's definitely a good solid pour, but man, for me, I mean, as being a high proof guy, this just lacks.
It's an easy drinker, like sitting by a pool or something. But yeah, it lacks the flavor and doesn't hit you on the back of the throat.
Yeah, the finish almost is immediately gone and non-existent. It's got a decent up front, but all the flavors in the mid palate for this one.
Yeah,
what do you?
10 seconds later, the flavor's gone.
Yeah. And it's got some caramel. It's got some, a little bit of brown sugar, but not a whole lot of anything else. I get a little bit of like leather on the actual mouth taste, though.
This is definitely chugging material.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Oh, this would go down like way too easily, unfortunately.
Stephen might be able to finish the whole bottle in one chug on this.
Well, maybe not.
At least half. I'm not kidding. I've
seen his chugs.
I was about to say, the legend does not mess around on the chugs for sure.
There are no baby chugs here, baby.
That's right. No Lee Gettings chugs, baby chugs.
No, sir.
Of course, Lee's drinking the GTS. So.
Yeah. He drinks the fancy stuff.
You can't hit it that hard on that stuff. So yeah, overall, I mean, pretty good pour. It's one of those things. I like Michters, like you said, but some of these, what I would consider their standard, straights, the Michter's rye is great, but this is it's okay. But then again, I'm not crazy about small batch anything. So, but we wanted to make sure we tried, talked to it, things like that.
Neither is Becky, but
absolutely. So I'm going to drop a water in it because that's what it's the rule of the podcast. We have to put just a tiny drop just to see if it changes, if it opens up anything, what's it do, and all that good stuff. So the nose almost goes away. Actually, you get a little bit more of the rye spice on the nose when you add the water. Yeah, so a little bit more of those floral, minty like notes. Does the rye come out when you add the water?
It does a little bit.
Does a little bit of pepper.
There's more pepper definitely with the water. But
it still dissipates in seconds.
And we talked about that on another episode where water makes the rye come out.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to get, like I think Nick suggested, we should probably grab Tyler and be like, why does that happen? Why does the rye pop more when you add water to it? When you think that when you add water to something, it should water it down, right?
Yeah,
you should lose the spice, but water almost always will add spice to it. So, I don't know, pretty unique.
It's chemistry, man. Chemistry.
I'm not a chemist.
Neither am I.
I don't have that brain. That's my wife's brain, not mine.
I'm a numbers guy.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. That's what the banker is supposed to say, right?
Yeah.
I'm good at numbers.
God, let's hope.
I think that's what calculators are made for, right? I love a good calculator in the morning. It does keep me out of trouble.
Yeah.
Figuring out interest is way easier on a scientific calculator than it is in my head. So what's up with this benchmark here? What do you know about benchmark? Do you know anything about it?
I know nothing about benchmark. I've actually never even tried a benchmark. So
benchmark is part of Buffalo Trace's, what I would call their core product line. So it's actually in the same family as Buffalo Trace, George T. Stagg, all of those. It's that I think is what, I can't remember the mash bill on that one. It's like 13% rye or something like that. So it's going to be like 70-something, 13, and then whatever the last number is. But, anyway, but that is what that is. So it's like watered down Buffalo Trace from what I understand. What's the proof bringing on this one?
This is a 90 proofer.
So 90 proofer. So it's very similar to Buffalo Trace.
Yep.
And does it say on the batch blend if it says age statements or anything like that?
It does not have any of the... It just says they're chosen... just says the aroma of vanilla and oak give way to delightful hints of caramel, leather, and honey. So we'll see about that.
Well, damn, I guess we're going to find out whether that's what it smells and tastes like,
we'll
right?
see if it does.
Like 100 other bourbons.
They did all the work for us.
They did all the work for us. That's right. So, well, all right, let's dive into this bad boy, see what we get on the nose, dive in deep, get the nose rimming in there and, see what you think.
Definitely get vanilla.
Is it vanilla?
Well, that's what it is to me.
I get more of caramel.
Yeah, I'm getting caramel or maybe like maple syrup or something like that. It could be vanilla, though. It doesn't seem like it has enough, like that alcohol-y smell to be vanilla, though, because I usually get that more on the vanilla side.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, you can correct me again. It's okay.
I'm not correcting you. I'm just saying everybody gets something different, right?
That's right.
And that's what makes bourbon wonderful,
That's
right?
right.
Like everybody, I might hate a pour and you might love it, right? Like that's what makes bourbon unique, So you get that opportunity to get in, you dive in, and you get that pour, and everybody's got different things. I will say, and Matt, our hostess with the mostest today, is showing us the legs on this bad boy, but also the color. I will say this one has almost no color. I mean,
It is pretty light.
I'm going to guess this is probably a 3-year-old or a blend of 3 or 4-year-old bourbons. It cannot be very old. The old Google machine, if only we could use that and find out if it
On it.
if we could find out if there's an age statement involved with these things.
For what it's worth, I get more caramel on the taste.
Do you? Getting a lot more caramel on taste. Mm-hmm. I'll have to dive in on the taste and see what I think. Why Micah's over here on the Google checking out if he can find that age on the old benchmark here. And this is the benchmark small batch, right?
Yes, that's
Good deal.
correct.
So we got 2 small batch bourbons that are both shelfers that we're trying today. And this is really difficult because anybody who knows me knows I'm a single barrel snob.
And the last I knew, if you're in Kentucky, you need to come to Indiana to get the small batch or any benchmark.
That is correct, yes. The benchmark is mainly released in Indiana, which is weird. They took that. So this has got a ton of the pepper up front, like the tongue really, really on there. It tastes a little young, though. I'm getting corn. Like
it is a
almost
3-year.
Is it a 3-year?
Yeah.
So to me, I'm getting almost like a really, really dry cornbread. not as sweet, but like that young corn flavor that you would get from like cornbread.
Yeah.
You get that?
Yeah.
With a caramel.
Yeah, a little bit of caramel. Yeah.
Caramel. Cheap caramel corn.
Cheap caramel corn. There you go. That'd be, you could call it that way. But that rye spice up front, man, that's a lot of pepper. Huh.
I like that.
I do too, but it's
But still, it's young.
yeah, the finish is also not very long, but very, very unique. Put a
Again,
couple
that's what
drops.
she said.
Unfortunately, that is probably what she says. I got the Irish curse, they say. Couple of drops of water. It opens the nose up,
It
actually.
opens the nose a lot.
Yeah, it does.
And we've found that over time too.
Yeah. Did it mild out the rye spice?
It did.
It did? I haven't tried it yet. What are you getting on the flavor at all when you add the water?
I'm getting that pepper still.
You're still getting the pepper?
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of anything else?
No.
No.
Just doesn't pack that punch that I like.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% with you. So, All right. If you had to pick one that you were going to buy and pick up at the store, which one would you buy? And is there one you prefer neat over water or vice versa?
You know what? I'd probably have to go with the Benchmark. There was just no flavor after a couple seconds on the Michters. There was just no flavor left. I don't know. It's kind of gone.
And you like the spice on that Benchmark better?
Yeah, the spice was definitely better on the Benchmark. I think that the Michters lacked flavor and just didn't last.
Yeah. So I'm going to disagree. I think I prefer, especially if I'm going to go neat, I want to go with the Michters, and only because I kind of like some of the sweet flavors that come in on it. But for me, it would just be one of those, like you said, summer pour. Like you sit out on the deck, summer, you're not going to worry about sweating it out, in 2 hours. Whereas that Benchmark, I think you'd still get a little sweat off that one just because the rye spice. I think it would bring up your temperature a little bit. And I think I would add a little bit of water to that just to kind of bring some of that pepper down.
I think the water did help it.
Yeah. What about you, Stephen?
I would definitely go with the Benchmark. I like the rye. I like the spice. Adding water helps. The Michters was just too mellow.
Yeah.
I mean, not bad, just
right.
Not my palate.
No, I get it. Yeah, yeah. For me, the Benchmark is, like I said, it actually reminds me a lot of Buffalo Trace, like a young Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
That tastes very similar. Mm-hmm. They got that rye bite. Matter of fact, it almost has more bite than Buffalo Trace does, which is unusual. You would think with a younger one, and maybe that's what that is. That spice is coming through because the rye is really, really not completely mellowed out on that 3-year pour. So I don't know, kind of crazy. So Micah, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you? Maybe so when next time you're on the show, you can have a little bit of a background. What do you do? What do you like?
I own a painting company, family-owned business. We've been around since 1959. So
1959?
Yes,
That's
sir.
a long time.
Yep.
That's before you were born.
Yep. I'm a third generation, so I run the show now, and it's what I do. I just got into bourbon probably 5 years ago, so I'm still learning a lot. This is my first podcast, so still learning a lot. But
all right. So where you located in Southern Indiana, Louisville?
I actually live in Floyd's Knobs currently, but just sold my house and getting ready to move to Georgetown, Indiana.
All right. So you are a Hoosier like us. We love that.
Absolutely. Sunny side.
Sunny side of the river. You do work on both sides? If somebody
Yes.
needs painting, you'll go over to Louisville and paint
Absolutely.
their house or their condo?
I do work in Lexington. I do work in Columbus, Indiana.
Do you specialize in anything?
We do mostly industrial commercial painting. I do a little bit of residential, but it's mostly all commercial.
Gotcha. So like big buildings, things like that. So do you do specialize like in pre-build, like new build type stuff, or?
We're all over the place, honestly. I do probably 50-50 new builds versus repaints. If you're familiar with Cutter Construction around Southern Indiana, we do all their painting. So if you see their buildings thrown up, that's kind of what we do.
Probably most likely you've been in there putting a brush to it.
Absolutely. Well, not me currently, but I kind of run the show. I don't get out and paint much anymore.
I'm the big dog.
I'm the big dog.
I ain't got to put a brush on nothing no more.
I just write the check
And hope the check clear.
and hope it clears. That's right.
Well, we better clear, right? You're gonna have some mad painters out there.
Yeah.
A steward or whatever your main guy's name is. He'll be like, "Wait, hey, what's going on here, man? Well, why didn't my check clear?"
Yeah. So if anybody needs a job, come see me because I can't find anybody right now.
There you go. Yeah. So speaking of that, everybody talks about all the things that's going on in the economy and things like that. Has it been just a horrible time just trying to hire people with things that are going on?
It has been the worst year ever, I think. I mean, the recession hit us hard because there was a lack of work, but this is more stressful. Because got so much work backed up and can't find anybody to help me out, and it's tough.
I hate to hear that for people.
Yeah,
because I've heard a lot of business owners talk about that recently. So
yeah, it's tough.
Especially in my world, you hear a lot of those complaints and conversations with folks where they're like, "Hey man, I just can't find anything." And heck, I know one of my clients, he just opened a business in Jeff, and he's like, "Man, we're offering $20 an hour, and I can't find anybody."
Yeah, it's insane.
So it's just it's unbelievable when you sit back and think, that they say as bad it is. Now, I will say, though, if you look at the market, like the Louisville market was not hurt on jobs as bad as some of your other big cities and towns and everything like that. And I know there's a lot that has to do with just the lack of workforce that we have just in general in this area. There's just the population's growing, but a lot of people that are coming in because of work, right? They're coming in because they work at Humana, or they're coming in because they work at Ford, or they're coming in because they work for some other major company that's laid down roots here. So when they come here, they're not coming looking for a job. They've already got one, so that makes it difficult. So even though the population's growing, they've usually already got something when they get it lined out. So
yeah.
Well, good deal. So I think that's pretty much it. So if you want to reach us at Bourbon Barrel Talk, you can find us at Bourbon Barrel Talk on our Facebook page, our Instagram, our Twitter, all that good stuff. You can also find us if you want to send us a question or an email, bourbonbarreltalk@gmail.com. And you can also check out our website, www.bourbonbarreltalk.com. We're in the process of revamping that bad boy, so be a little patient with us. There's not a whole lot of information out there. So this is Scott, Mr. Micah Arnold, and the legend himself signing off. Peace.